Breaking news here on NBA Today. Adrian Wojnarowski has an update on Steph Curry. He is expected to miss a few weeks. Wojnarowski is reporting with that left shoulder injury that he suffered yesterday against the Pacers. So all considering, this could be seen as a bit of a sigh of relief here, back here with Becky Hammond, Tim Legler, Vince Carter, and Richard Jefferson. A few weeks versus a few months. We will surely get more details in the coming hours. But Vince, how do you think the Warriors can continue to stay afloat here in the next couple of weeks?
Well, they're going to have to lean on, obviously, their experience, but they're young guys. It's their opportunity to step up. We all, as players, want our chance to shine and be the hero or just save the day. And this is an opportunity for these young guys, Jordan Poole, Kuminga, Moody, even Lamb. These guys are now having the opportunity. Not saying they'll all be the go-to guys, but obviously Jordan Poole is that one that's next up, next in line. And like Wendy said earlier, he hasn't been playing well, but at the same time, we all see when he's in the starting lineup, he's shined and flourished. So the time is now. The time is now.
The Warriors are in the middle of a 6-game road trip, and as we've said time and time again, they only have 2 wins on the road all season. Becky, as a coach, how do you handle the absence of someone like Steph Curry?
Well, it's got to be by committee, but I think it mainly falls on Jordan Poole in this aspect. Last year, he was great when Steph Curry was out of the lineup. This year, only 3 games. He's shooting 25% without Steph this year in only 3 games. But last year, he was averaging 27, almost 10 points better when he was out. So he really needs to step up for them. But it's also, like I said, you're never going to fill his shoes exactly.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a group effort. But also, let's get back to some defense, Golden State. You got to figure that part out before you even try to do anything with Steph. Figure out your defense on the road especially.
When we were talking on the call earlier today, Tim, you spoke about how much offense. Steph Curry is an offense in himself, and he generates so much attention.
More than any player in history of the league generating offense without taking a shot or a direct assist, because of the amount of communication, the way you have to roll to that side of the floor, the amount of mistakes you make communicating where he is. You can't replicate that. And the numbers speak for themselves. Here's why this is a big concern. Obviously, Jordan Poole have to step up. Clay can be better. Hopefully they get Wiggins back. Maybe Kuminga has a couple big games on this road trip. But here's the thing you can't replace. Steph Curry, they're 20 points better per 100 possessions. 20 points better with him on the court as opposed to off, because of all of the motion activity, what he does to make you worry and think about things that you never would have to if he's not on the floor. So, look, guys are going to get opportunities, but the reality is, with what they have left on this trip, they come back to the West Coast 14-19 if they drop these next 4. Now you're not talking about a 500 team anymore. Now you're talking about digging out of a serious hole with 40% of your season behind you.
It's going to be difficult. There is no silver lining here. Even if you go back to just last season, when you look at what the Warriors were able to do, when Clay was coming back, that was the game that Draymond was out. Draymond was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and then when he went out, their defense struggled. Then as Draymond came back, that's when Steph went out. So they couldn't really get right until the very end of the season, going into the postseason, ultimately leading into a championship. So to get to this point right here, right now, to be 500, to be playing what you are on the road, the only thing that you can say is like, hey, we're going to figure out if we can stay afloat without Steph. If we can figure out our defense, when Steph comes back, he will add to it. He will contribute to it. But they're in a tough spot, because 2 more weeks, you can be dealing from the, from that 8, 9, 7. You start putting yourself back into that play-in situation.